Okay? Also, do not email me and say, oh, is there anything I can do? I'm so close. No. Be there. I mean, get the 93 or take the exam. Okay? Now, speaking of the exam, Friday, this Friday, is the last day that if you are going to do extended time, if you do extended time exams, you have to sign up. You're going to have a form. They're going to send you a form. You're going to fill it out. I'm not doing what I did last semester, which was kids were emailing me these forms at like 10:30 at night the day before the exam. I'm not doing that. It's not fair. It's wrong. You know when your exam is. You know if you qualify for extended time. Fill out the form. If you have any questions about that, talk to them over there. I don't know where the form is or how to get the form or whatever. They told me they're going to send it out. But if you don't get it, talk to them. They are aware. And Mr. Bondi has approved my 3:20 p.m. cutoff on Friday, because you have plenty of time to get that done. Okay? Similarly, any assignments are due at the same time, 3:20 on Friday. Okay? So if you have missing homeworks or you have missing whatevers, you need to get all that in by 3:20 on Friday. Okay, let's finish up our notes. As soon as I change my attendance. Okay, so the last I can't find my notes. Well, we only have 3 more to go, so that's good. All right, so here we go. The last thing we were doing yesterday, or last time, was, one of these. Yes, two of them. Okay. All right. Here we go. We are going to change this repeating decimal into a fraction. Now, let's review what we learned last time. If it is a repeating decimal like this, anybody remember what that is as a fraction? 7/9. If it's a repeating decimal, oh, that's not a good choice. Like this, anybody remember what it is? Over 99, exactly. Now, so those are rules, those don't change, it always works out that way. What's different about this one?
There's only one repeating number, there's one.
There's a number stuck in there that isn't part of the repeat. Okay? So, if I expanded this thing, I have this 0.1 that is kind of separate. That guy doesn't repeat or anything. Then I have my 0.04, and then I have my 0.004, and so on and so on. Now, is this part of it repeating? Yes. So that part of it is an infinite geometric series. What is the first term? Remember, you're only looking at the repeating part. So what is the first term of the repeating part? 0.04. Now, what is the ratio places are we having to move the decimal point as we expand this thing? How many places are we moving it? One, right? There's one repeating decimal place, 4 repeats. So my ratio is 0.1, not 0.01, 0.1. Now we talked about this the other day. If you're confused, take 0.004 and divide it by 0.04. That will always work, and it will give you 0.1. So now we have 0.04 over 0.9, 1 minus 1/10, 9/10. Now you can do, you've got a calculator, you can do what you'd like on this. I'm going to choose to move the decimal point 2 places. I'm going to get 4 over 90, which is 2 over 45. Now, if you typed 0.04 divided by 0.9 into your calculator, it would give you this, hopefully. And if you math fract it, it would give you this. Is that what you got? So that's the answer. You want the fraction form of this. And there's more than one way you can go about getting it. Okay. D is actually, I think, a little bit easier. What is the repeating part of this? 0.33333, right? What's that? You should know that. What's repeating 3's? 3 over 9 or 1/3. So this is 1/3. That isn't the whole problem though. This part right here is 1/3. What do I have to do?
2.
Add 2. So that is 7/3. 2 1/3 or 7/3. You can check these so easily, you guys. Divide 7, do 7 divided by 3 on your calculator. It better say this. It will. You can check them. All right, one more. .7 and then repeating 4 ones. What is the repeating part of the problem? 0.041, very good. Was that you, Owen? Very good. 0.04, this is not repeating, so these are gone. So 0.041 and then another 0.00041 and so on and so on and so on. This is the repeating part of the problem. What does our formula say about that? It goes on forever, it's infinite. What does our formula say? What's the first term of the part that repeats? What's the first term? 0.041. What's the ratio? 0.01. There's 2 decimal points repeating, places repeating, so you should absolutely know it's 0.01, but if not, divide this by this, and it gives you 0.01. So I have 0.041 divided by 0.99. I'm going to move that decimal 3 places this time. Now be careful. Am I finished? I have a fraction. Am I finished? No. What did I not include? What did I not put in my problem that I need to? Still 1.7? He didn't repeat, so I left him out. But now I have to add him back in, so I have to add 1.7, which I'm doing it in fractions. You can do it in decimals, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get a common denominator. Again, you can do all this on your calculator, if you know how to use your calculator. I got 1724 over 990, which I will math frac to reduce. And it's 862 over 495. Anybody else get that? If you type this in on your calculator, you'll get a repeating decimal. Just don't forget, you have to add the 1.7 to it. The 1.7 has to be added back in. All right, that is it for your notes, folks. No more notes. So now we're going to our sequence and series review. And I have a lot of review. We probably aren't going to get it all done before our quiz on Friday, Thursday. When I get the hand out to everybody else. Or you can just make a copy of that one.
Yeah, I can just
But I gotta make sure that I get it. Okay. All right. So, first thing you're doing is looking at these strings of numbers. I'm on the front page here. And you're going to decide if it's arithmetic, geometric, or neither. And then if it's arithmetic, you'll give the common difference. If it's geometric, you'll give the common ratio. All right? Anybody have an idea for problem A? What? Neither. What's happening in problem A? It's going up by 3, and then 4, and then 5. So it's going up, but it's not going up by the same amount. So it's a neither. Okay, what about B? Arithmetic, and the common difference is 3. Yeah, if it's arithmetic, you have to be adding by the same thing, right? And we're adding 3. Perfect. Okay, what about C? Geometric. And what are we multiplying by? -7. So your ratio is -7. D. Arithmetic. And the common difference is -2. -2. D is -2. How about E? Dividing by 2, but we don't say dividing by 2, we say multiplying by 1/2, 0.5, 1/2. So it's geometric, and we're multiplying by 0.5. Okay, let me get my formulas up here. This looks like we need them now. So here are all of your formulas. Okay? So, look at problem 2. Find A sub 16. Now, there's a huge clue there. It's A. So it's going to be one of these. How are you going to decide which one it is?
16.
Is it arithmetic or geometric? So look at the numbers. -2, 4, 10, 16. What's happening? We're going up by 6. So it's arithmetic, and G is 6. All right, so it's one of these two. Which one of these is my arithmetic formula? Top one. It's got a D in it, for Pete's sake. It's the top one. So A sub 16 is the first term plus 6 times n minus 1. This is n. A sub n. A sub n. N is 16. So n minus 1 is 15. And if my arithmetic's right, is that 88? Now, number 3 says S sub 12. Well, clearly I'm using an S formula. And since it has a sub 12, it won't be this one, right? There's no sub 12 here. So it's one of these. How do I decide which one? Arithmetic or geometric. So what's going on in problem 3?
Geometric.
Geometric, and we are timesing by 2. So here is your geometric formula. Got an R in it, geometric. So we want to find the sum of 12. So here we go. The first one is 3. The ratio is 2. N is 12. And 1 minus the ratio. I am doing nothing but plugging numbers into that formula. I like to do this first, make that a -1. And then I can type in the numerator. Hit equals, and divide it by -1, and I got 12,285.
Negative.
Nope, positive, because you divide by -1. All right, and finally, number 4, finally on this front page, find S. Well, kids, you only have one formula that says plain S, and that would be this one. This is the only one that says plain S. So the first term is 30. What's the ratio? 0.5, 1/2, 0.5. You should get 60. Type it in, hopefully you get 60. If you're not getting the right answers when you type them in, you've got to come in and see me or find a friend. You've got to be able to get the right answers. All right, number 5, this is our limit section. There'll be one of these on your quiz. Almost all of these, you can just look at it and tell what the limit is. Look at number A. -1/2. Why is it -1/2? Because it's 2n over -4n. Things aren't in order, but it doesn't matter. It's n over n. So it'll be -1/2. What about B? 5/7. What about C? Who remembers? Zero. Why is it 0? No, it had nothing to do with the exponent. The number in the parentheses is less than 1. And when you multiply by a number less than 1, you get smaller. And what is the smallest you can get? 0. How about D? What? It's also 0. Why is it 0? Because you don't have an n squared on the top. So you have 0/6. How about E? No limit. Because the number in the parentheses is bigger than 1. And when you keep multiplying by 4/3, you just keep getting bigger. And how about F? No limit. Because why? There's no n squared in the bottom. So you would have 2 n squareds over 0 n squareds. And 2/0 is not doable. Yep. Okay. done with this practice quiz. All right, here we go. Find S sub 20. Well, won't I need one of these guys right here? S sub something? How do I know which one to use? How do I know which one to use? Is it arithmetic or geometric? So tell me, is it arithmetic or geometric? Arithmetic, and the common difference is? 4 plus 4. Okay, so here's my arithmetic formula right here. So S sub 20 will be 20 over 2. What's A sub 1 stand for? First term is negative 18. And this would be, n is 20, so that would be A sub 20. Do I know A sub 20? What do I do? We did it last week. What happens when we need something that we don't have? We go to one of our other formulas. In this case, it'll be this one, arithmetic, and we're going to find A sub 20. So the formula says A sub 20 will equal what? Negative 18 plus 4 times 19. This is not the answer to the question. Bless you. I got 58. Did you get 58? What do I do with that? So that goes right here. So now I have 20 over 2, which is 10, times negative 18 plus 58. Do you have 400 as your final answer? A lot of these problems are going to be two-step because you're going to run into a situation like we did here where we don't know what we need. All right, let's try 7. Okay, what's going on with 7? A sub 8, and there's your sequence. Now it's an A, so we're going to use one of these. Which one are we going to use? Geometric, because the ratio is negative 2. So the formula says A sub 8 will be the first term, which is 12, times negative 2 to the n minus 1, that's n, 7. So what is that? Negative 1,536 is what I got. Anybody match that? Okay. Number 8. Write an explicit rule. Okay, we haven't done, this was day 1. We haven't done anything with that since then, but let's write an explicit rule. What kind of a sequence do we have? Arithmetic with a common difference of 3. This is your arithmetic formula. So you are going to write a formula for A sub n. I don't know what n is. I'm doing it in general, A sub n. What does the formula say? The one in the box there. A sub n equals 10 plus 3 times n minus 1. clean that up and you're done. That's all you have to do. Plug in your a sub 1 and your d, and you're going to get your formula. So 10 plus 3n minus 3. So I got 3n plus 7, or 7 plus 3n. It doesn't matter what order you write those in. And that's your explicit rule, or explicit formula. Isn't that easy? So what did I put in? I put in a sub 1 and d. That's it. So what do you think I'm going to do with the next one? It's geometric. So I'll be using this formula now. So what does a sub n equal? The first term times what's my ratio here? 4 to the n minus first. Done. Done. Do not ever try to multiply these. We talked about this earlier in the year. This is exponential growth. This is your A and your B. They never get multiplied. They stay separate. That is it. You are finished. That is the formula right there. That's all there is to it. Can't do anything else with it. 0.34 as a fraction in lowest terms. Well, you can show work or not show work for this one. You know how to do this one. 0.34. 34 over 99. The only thing you have to make sure you do is, if that reduces, which it doesn't, but if it did, you would need to reduce it. 2 repeating decimal places mean I'm over 99. Unless I've got some weirdness in there, like that one we looked at earlier, that, like this. That changes the game. But if it's just the repeating things, 2 of them is 34 over 99. Okay? So we just took the quiz. Let's take it again. This one's called pre-quiz. Alright, so here we go. Pre-quiz. Identify the sequence as arithmetic, geometric, or neither. Alright, so I'm going to stop right here. I want you and your partner to figure it out. For that first problem, are they arithmetic, geometric, or neither? Don't say it, just figure it out with your partner. If they're arithmetic, give the common difference. If they're geometric, give the common ratio. Alright, I'm going to call on somebody quickly, because you're always talking over there. You and Izzy. What's A?
Arithmetic.
Common difference is
1.
plus 1. That's arithmetic with a common difference of plus 1. Alright? Caroline, what about number 2?
You said neither.
Okay, now, I don't know. I know it's not arithmetic because it's not going up by the same amount or down by the same amount. It's just not. But how do I check geometric? What has to be the case if it's geometric? I don't know that it is, but I need to check it. I can't just look at it. How do I find my ratio? This divided by this? Okay, what is that? 2 divided by 3? All right, now check this one. What's 4/3 divided by 2? 2/3? Well, wait a minute. If this ratio is 2/3 and this ratio is 2/3, this is geometric, and the common ratio is 2/3. Can we use fractions? I'm okay with decimals if they terminate, so I'm okay with 0.5. I'm not okay with 0.33 repeating or whatever it was. Just math Friday. How about C? Amaya, what about C?
Arithmetic?
What?
Arithmetic?
No, if it's arithmetic, it's going up by the same amount. So from 1 to 4 is 3, but from 4 to 9 is 5. Nope, not arithmetic. If it's geometric, 4 over 1 would be the same as 9 over 4. Is that true? Is 4 over 1 equal to 9 over 4? No. So if it's not arithmetic and it's not geometric, then it is neither. That's a neither. Find the indicated term or sum. So this is a term, a sub 11. So where will your beady little eyes look on your formula sheet? Top 2, the ones in boxes? How will you decide which one to use? Because you can only use one. Is it arithmetic or geometric? Looks like we are multiplying by 3. So geometric would say take the first term. I didn't write it down. The first term is 1. The ratio is 3, and what power would I take that to? 10. Because the formula says n minus 1, and n is 11. Okay? So 59,049. S sub 100. Well, it's going to be one of these guys. And since it has a sub on it, it's going to be one of these two. Arithmetic, because the common difference is -3. So it'll be this one right here. This is your arithmetic formula. So here we go. 100 over 2. That's what the formula says. First term is 32. Oh, bummer. What has to go here? According to the formula, what goes here? A sub 100? Do I know A sub 100? Nope. So what do? Grab it from one of these, and since it's arithmetic, I'll grab it from the top one. So A sub 100 equals 32 plus, what did you tell me the difference was? -3 times 99. I am simply plugging and chugging, guys. Plugging numbers into my formula. So 32 minus 3 times 99. I got -265. That is not the answer. That is this. So that goes here. And then I can work the rest of it out. I got -11,650. Does that sound right to anybody? Got pages back. All right, let's go to the next page. So in a few days, you're doing this all by yourself. You look at the problem. You look at the problem. And what do you have to figure out? Arithmetic or geometric, and which formula am I going to use? So this is an S. There's no sub on it. It's just S. So here's my formula. So the first term is 5. What is the ratio? What am I multiplying by? Okay, we are using fractions now. What's your fraction? 1/3. You're multiplying by 1/3. Now, you can type that in on your calculator. I have no issue with that, but make sure you match bracket, okay? Especially this weirdo decimal. I don't think this one is though. This one works out to be, is this 7.5? So that works out. You can leave that as a decimal, or you can change it into 15 halves. It's up to you. A sub 2014. Whoa. You are not gonna wanna write this out. You're gonna use a formula. Which formula are we gonna use? One of these. Are we arithmetic or geometric? Arithmetic with a common difference of 4. So I take my first term plus 4 times 2013. And I got 8,053. See how easy that is? You do not want to be writing out 2014 terms. That would take forever. All right, last one in this section. S sub 6. Pick a formula. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 5. It's a sub, and it's geometric. So what's the ratio? 4. So my formula says 2 minus 2 is 4 to the 6 over 1 minus 4. So again, there's nothing magic about that. I'm just plugging in the numbers into my formula. I always do this before I go to the calculator. And then I type it in. So 2 minus 2 times 4 to the 6, and then divided by -3. Did you get 2730?
Yeah.
All right, section 3 is your limits. Take a second with your partner and evaluate the limits. There's 3 on one page, 2 on the next page. Okay, Joseph, we're doing the limits now down here. All right, let's see. Jade, what'd you guys get for A?
0.
Nolan,
No limit. Now, I get what, Jay, because I wasn't clear when I said that. When I said those kind of problems, there's 2 ways they can look. They can be like 3, 1/3 to the x minus or x plus 4 or something. And then they can be 4 times 3 halves times, up to 2x or something. They can look like that. None of it matters except the size of this number, right? And I told you if this number was bigger than 1, there was no limit. And if this number is less than 1, the limit is 0, right? Now, here's the issue. It's not the number, it's the absolute value of the number. I want you to think about what happens in problem A when you keep multiplying by -6. Think about it. negative 6 would be negative 6. Negative 6 to the second is 36. Negative 6 to the third is negative 216. What is happening to those numbers? They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm talking about their magnitude, their absolute value. So if this had been, right here, if this had been negative 3/2, it would still be no limit, because the absolute value of that is bigger than 1. Okay, that's my fault, I didn't clarify that. This number is the absolute value of it. So this would have no limit. This would still have a limit of 0. So A is no limit, because negative 6 has an absolute value bigger than 1. All right, what about B? 3/2. Kids, how do we do that? We put n's over n's, and 3n over 2n is 3/2. That's twice I mixed things up and tried to trick you. Don't let me do it again. All right, what about C? No, or excuse me, 0. The limit is 0. Why is the limit 0? There's no n cubed on the top. So you have 0 over 4. Remember, you gotta compare the n cubes. Biggest power. 0. You have 0 over 4. 0 over 4 is 0. What about D? What about D?
Oh, seriously?
0. You're raising 3/5. That number is less than 1. So that one's going to 0. What about E? No limit, because you have 3n squareds over 0 n squareds, and you can't have 3 over 0. All right, 4 more problems and we'll be done for the day. Number 4, find the explicit rule. Which formulas do I use when it says find explicit rules? The 2 that are in the boxes. So you just decide, is A arithmetic or geometric? A is geometric. So my formula says first term times the ratio, which is 3, to the n minus first. Done. Done. How about the next one? It's arithmetic. First term is -7. What's your common difference? What do you keep adding? 4. Now this one can be simplified. So -7 plus 4n minus 4. This one is never going to simplify. You cannot combine these. This one will always simplify because you can always redistribute it. So I got 4n minus 11. How about you? Or -11 plus 4n. Now 5 is a little bit tricky. What's going on in 5? Well, I'm not sure. I've got some kind of sequence here. And the 4th term is 2, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and the 10th term is 26. It tells me in the problem that it's arithmetic. So what does that mean? I am getting from here to here and here to here by adding. And the number I'm adding is the same. So how many times am I adding from the 4th term to the 10th term? 6. Now, you can count if you want. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you can just subtract. So, if I start with 2 and add 6 D's, you said I was adding 6 times, I'm going to end up at 26. 2 plus a D, a D, a D, a D, a D, a D, and I get to 26. Does that make sense? So what's D? 4? Now, what do I want to know? I want to find A sub 200. Now, in order to do that, I need to have my first term. As my formula says, I need my first term. So, can I find it? How will I do that? Back up 4? So, -2, -6, -10. So A sub 200 is -10 plus 4 times 199. Just plug it into my formula. I got 786. How does that sound to you? Remember, if you're adding 4 going that way, you're subtracting 4 going this way. If you're timesing by 4 going that way, you're dividing by 4 going this way. All right, last one. Repeating 0.72. 72 over 99, which you always need to reduce. So that would be 8 over 11. Now, your calculator will do that for you, if you want it to. 72 over 99, math frac, and it will tell you 8 over 11. Okay? Next time, I have a little practice that we can do with partners, a partner practice activity.